guys, welcome back to our channel. I thought I'd give a hoof update because I've not actually given one for ages. Obviously, hooves, just Jackson's wondering who I'm talking to. Hello. We just got a partition put in for the horses just so they can see each other. But I haven't actually gave a hoof update for ages. Obviously, hooves just take such a long time to change. So this is the reason why I haven't really given an update. But I had been pondering about what went wrong on my first barefoot transition. So I think I found the answer. About what went wrong. So I thought I would share it with you guys because obviously I'm trying to share Arthur's progress and journey as much as I can. So when Arthur got wedge pads, are you okay, Jack? I don't know what he's doing. So when we got wedge pads, I remember. So the farrier came and he said that he liked to take the horse's hooves right back. So obviously a lot of farriers like to do this kind of thing when there's hoof distortions, that's fine. That's not a criticism. But I don't think I appreciated just how far they went back because Arthur is normally so easy to shoe and he falls asleep. Whereas on this occasion, the farrier tried to nail in the shoes and Arthur went through the roof. Like, he's never done that before. The farrier did ask me if he's normally like that and he normally falls asleep. So that was something that did actually concern me. But I didn't really, this was before I really started to look at the inside of hooves and things like that. And then obviously Arthur did actually lose his shoes before the bone scan and he was crippled. Now Arthur would lose a shoe, he's lost loads of shoes, but he's never been unsound when he's lost shoes. But this time he just could not walk at all, and actually the nurse who came out to collect Arthur ready for his bone scan actually questioned whether he could have gone through the bone scan because of the fact that he couldn't walk. But obviously they decided to just still go ahead with it. And then he was shod again, but the farrier didn't actually take much off his soles that time. I don't even think he took anything off, if I'm honest. I'm not sure. I just know a lot came off the first time. And Arthur lost 2 shoes. And he wasn't too bad. He was fine. He seemed to be fine. And then I made the decision to take him barefoot because he was just losing these... he was just losing these shoes all the time. He lost one and then it was replaced and he lost it again 2 days later. So I just decided to take them off during the winter. And obviously I didn't appreciate the fact that his soles were probably a little bit on the thin side because they were mechanically taken away. But he seemed to be happy. He was just a bit shuffly, as you know, on the concrete. And I think because his bars were left to grow, obviously everything underneath those wedge pads, they're not exposed to the environment, so they don't wear like what they would usually do, even in obviously open-heeled shoes. So the bars were obviously allowed to bend into his soles, and because bar is harder than sole and because his soles were already compromised because they had been mechanically taken away, I just think that's where the embedded bar scenario came in, because his soles just weren't strong enough. So the bars just kind of mushed into his soles and it just kind of went from there. But you can see on these x-rays, so a US-based trimmer told me that this area on Arthur's x-ray was bar material, not sole, because of the difference in the transparency. So obviously different materials absorb x-rays at different rates, I suppose. I'm no expert. But this is why you can see different materials. And I wasn't too sure. I went to try and research and I couldn't really find anything about it. But now that Arthur's feet are effectively back to normal, if you look at this X-ray, it's disappeared, and his left foot was the only one I really had the issue with. So I'm tempted to think that was actually what she said, because it certainly wasn't just empty space, because these X-rays were before I actually started trimming the bar away from his frogs. So that is my thought process behind it. So I think when I take him barefoot a second time round, which is going to be this year, I don't think I'm going to have the same issue, because his soles are now thick again. They're now a decent width. I haven't had him X-rayed yet, but I will do X-rays again. But yeah, and he did actually lose a shoe a couple of months ago, just before I went on that barefoot course at the end of June, and he was totally sound on it. He was even sound on it in the concrete, but because he was in heart bar shoes, the bars were really long, and when he lost it originally, he was lame as a dog. So here's a video of him being very, very lame, and I knew exactly what it was. And then I just evened up his bars, and then he was walking sound, as you can see in this video, which I literally took straight after I nipped his bars back. And then this video is when I got back from the barefoot course, and he was galloping around, and he was totally fine on that foot, and the ground was fairly hard, really. So he was totally fine. So I'm a lot more confident this time round. I do really, really think that diet is a big thing. So I've done quite a lot of research on diet. I am going to set up my track system. I'm just so busy. I'm so sorry. Unfortunately we had Chippy put to sleep because he had quite a lot of problems, and it was an on and off scenario for at least 2 years, and we finally bit the bullet, because I really struggled watching him through winter last year. And I really felt for him. So yeah, it's been a tough one. It really has. It's a bit strange. Jackson says, I think I'm missing out. Obviously Chippy used to be in that stable, but now Jackson's moved into his stable. But I'm going to ask the husband this weekend, which obviously you will not see this video before then. I'm going to ask him if we can actually put the posts in, and then I can do the actual electric fencing myself. It's just the posts that need knocking into the ground I need help with. But I definitely think that diet is a big thing, and I think I've kind of reached the limit with what shoes can do for Arthur's feet now. His feet are looking pretty awesome. I'll put some pictures up. His digital cushion area is looking absolutely awesome compared to what it used to be. His feet are just looking better every single time he gets shod. I always pay attention to what everything looks like underneath. It does look like he's potentially had a little bit of laminitis in that left foot. Whether this is to do with this whole bar situation, I don't know. I feel like it probably was, because the other 3 hooves are totally clear. They've been totally fine the whole way through. So I don't know, but I do believe the diet is a massive thing, and I'm really committing myself to the whole diet situation. So Arthur does get a mixture of Timothy hay and oat straw that he doesn't particularly like all that much, but because he's greedy, he does eventually eat it. He's just eating his hay at the moment. And yeah, I'm basically trying to switch their diet as much as possible. But I've noticed so many significant changes, I really have. Arthur is definitely going the best he has ever gone. I definitely 150%. I even think that diet might actually be a big problem for kissing spines. So I'm just keep on plodding on through. I'm trying to share his journey as much as I can with you guys. I might not be right about everything. This is a journey. And I'm just sharing it with you as and when I go along. But he honestly, guys, he feels absolutely fantastic right now. This horse. This is not the horse I bought in 2017. Are you? He was absolutely fantastic on that pleasure ride. I absolutely loved it. But oh yeah, I need to show. So obviously these are the updated pictures of his feet. So you can see how much the frog has changed and the back of the foot has changed on his front hoof. I always just show you the front left and the back left. And you can just see from the side and from the front, from the solar view, just how much they've changed. And it's the same with the hinds. But with Arthur, he is actually standing more square on a consistent basis now. So he's not actually, he's not standing as camped under as what he used to. He's standing much more square. So that's a good thing. Here's a picture of that I asked the husband to take, and when I took him hacking in his bitless bridle, and he's standing square, and somebody else commented on it as well. So yeah, he's just gone fantastic, and the more that I go through this process, the more I think the diet has been my issue all along. But yeah, I could ramble on about this stuff all day. So until the next one, bye for now.